Welcome to Make Your Moves, the show where I make a moveset for a Smash Bros. Character that doesn't exist. However, I don't just pick characters that can potentially be in the game. I pick characters of all kinds, as long as they've originated from a video game. This means no movie characters or real people. For today's episode, we have Crash Bandicoot. The 1990s marked the birth of a brand new series of consoles that would sweep the nation. This would be none other than the PlayStation, which is now one of the most recognizable consoles out there. The PS2 and the PS4 are two of the highest selling consoles of all time, right next to the Nintendo 3DS, which is number one. When the first PlayStation had come out though, many companies made efforts in creating a mascot that would represent it. Many included the likes of Ratchet & Clank, Spyro the Dragon, and Jak and Daxter. However, there was one mascot that would end up reigning supreme among the others. This would be none other than Crash Bandicoot. Not only is Crash Bandicoot one of the most recognizable PlayStation mascots, but he's probably one of the most recognizable video game characters of all time as well. There was even a whole ad campaign centered around how Crash Bandicoot was rivaling with the likes of the infamous Super Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog. This being said, he'd be a very fitting character for Smash Ultimate. This way the original trio can finally be complete. However, you can't be in Smash Ultimate if you don't have a moveset, so what could be used in his moveset? While he has been in quite a few games, I decided to mainly stick with the original trilogy since it's the most recognizable compared to any of the others. Mainly, I'll just be taking out of what he can do out of those games. This includes his basic moves as well as the super abilities he gets by beating bosses in Crash Bandicoot Warped. That being said, how about we jump straight into the moveset? As for his basic attacks, it was a little difficult to come up with what his main form of attack would be. Any normal person would be like, hey, you can just use his fists and stuff, cause you know, common sense and all that. And you know what, I'm not really so sure. Crash is never really often seen with his fists to attack his enemies. The most you get is a spin, maybe the body slam, so I searched every crevice of that game until I found something that could work. The yo-yo. I know, it sounds ridiculous, but hear me out. As I stated before, Crash is not often seen defeating his enemies with punches and kicks. However, he does have a yo-yo that could be used as a good counterpart. Sure, he doesn't attack with it, and sure it does contradict everything I just said, but the way I see it, we already have plenty of fighters that use punches and kicks, and only one fighter that uses a yo-yo, being Ness. Crash Bandicoot using a yo-yo would make him stand out more, considering both Sonic and Mario use punches and kicks, and Crash Bandicoot has been trying to stand out as better than the other two. This being said, many of his basic attacks will use his yo-yo. For example, his up tilt will be an uppercut with his yo-yo, and his side tilt will be a forward motion of his yo-yo. His dash attack will also use his yo-yo, as well as many of his air attacks and his smash attacks. However, there will be some exceptions. His neutral attack and his neutral air will be a basic spin attack he does in the game. The neutral air, however, will cause him to float to the ground slower, similar to the tornado spin from the third game. His down air will be a body slam similar to Bowser's down air. Finally, his down tilt will be his slide he can do in the game similar to Joker's down tilt. Now that all of the basic attacks are out of the way, let's move on to the special attacks. His neutral special will be somewhat similar to Pac-Man's neutral special, where he will cycle through multiple objects. In this case, he will cycle through multiple kinds of crates that he can throw. First, there's a regular crate that does nothing more than doing damage. Next is a bounce crate that won't do much damage but will launch them further. Next is the TNT crate that will explode after a few seconds, and then the Nitro crate will explode on impact. Finally, there's a metal crate that does the most amount of damage, but because it's at the end of the cycle, you'll have to wait longer to use it. The side special is the Fruit Bazooka from Crash Bandicoot Warped. You can also angle the Fruit Bazooka to shoot in different directions like you can in the game. Sub-special can be his jetpack that originated from Crash 2. Finally, there's his down special. I imagine there could be a meter similar to Joker's that fills up over time, and when the meter hits its max, he pulls out Aku Aku and he is given super armor for a shorter period of time. His down special would be used as a way to charge his move quicker, as well as a way to reflect projectiles. Next up is his final smash. The idea I had for his final smash could be where he hops onto a polar bear and dashes across the stage. If it hits somebody, it will show a cutscene of them getting crushed by a boulder or attacked by a larger polar bear. As for alternate costumes, there's plenty to work with. For one, Coco, his sister, would be an obvious choice. Crunch and Tana would also be easy choices as well. Fake Crash could be an alternate costume if you wanted to. Also, he could have an alternate costume based on his outfit when he rides a motorcycle or when he is using his jetpack. I had a few other ideas that I'd like to mention before moving on. One is his taunts. These are pretty easy since they could easily just be some of his idle animations like him playing with a Wumpa Fruit or him playing with his yo-yo. I also pictured his grab being assisted by Aku Aku for more charm. As for his assist trophies, I had two. One is Dr. Cortex. He would fly around the background and fire energy balls at the opponents. It'll look very similar to his final battle from the first Crash Bandicoot game. The other is Ripperoo. He would hop around the stage, and when he lands, he would spawn nitro crates on the floor before igniting them all at once. Well, that's what I've come up with for Crash Bandicoot's moveset. I think I did a pretty good job representing his game and his moveset by picking things out from all three of the original games, as well as a couple things from the games after it. Crash Bandicoot 2 is one of my childhood games, so I was really excited to finally be able to make this moveset. So what did you think of the moveset? Is there anything you think could have been changed about the moveset, or do you think it was fine as is? Are there any other characters you would like to see me add to the roster in the future? If so, leave them in the comments below. If you liked the video, feel free to like and share the video, and if you want to see more videos like this one, feel free to subscribe to the channel and even check out the playlist full of these Smash Bros. Movesets. Well, this is Powerful SL, signing off, goodbye. However, he does have a yo-yo that could be used as his counter. However, he does have a yo-yo that could be good. Ow! I just punched my leg out of anger, and that hurt. Ah! That was really stupid.